This should never have happened. Right. The violent events of September 11th, 2001 gave people every reason to distrust those who are different. However, there are other options besides distrust. There are other options. Because yesterday's hurt can become today's understanding, rewoven into tomorrow's love. Right. It's talking about hope, as in the shootings last week at Fort Hood do not have to separate us from each other, and they do not have to doom our future. There are other options. For instance, this Indianapolis student, she traveled with Muslim, Christian, and Jewish people from Indianapolis to the Middle East to build a Habitat for Humanity house together. So you could say that Indianapolis has already exported peace. It's a great story, but it raises the question, how can even more people learn about these stories of what an inspiring place this community has become since 9/11? Well, that's where Eagle Creek Park comes in. They have an estimated 250,000 visitors coming through there each year. And the Peace Learning Center is a community-based educational institution that's located at Eagle Creek Park. They work with youth, they work with adults, they work with professionals on how to handle differences in a constructive way. And they've already touched over 120,000 people, both locally and internationally. So we propose to redesign part of the Peace Learning Center facility to become an even more inspiring place where people can learn about this city from a perspective of peace, where they can learn about what an inspiring place Indy already is and that it can become. Right? We hope that this new learning space will tell the stories of people right here in this city who responded to the violence of 9/11 by reaching out, by speaking up, and by working together so that this city can experience what is possible. Right? Another example, there were 2 women here in Indianapolis who saw a need post 9/11 for American Muslim women to speak up. All right, so these 2 ladies co-founded Muslim Women of America, and they have already taken women from across the country to DC to learn about how to interact with public officials and work on community issues together that affect everybody of all different faiths. Right? It's an impressive story. And there are so many people post 9/11 right here in this city who have worked to learn about each other, to build relationships, to improve neighborhoods, to show this community what is possible. So much so, in fact, that believe it or not, this city has already become a destination for peacemakers from around the world. All right? They're right here, mayors from Israel and Palestinian territories. They sat down together for a public dialogue to talk at the University of Indianapolis. It's pretty impressive. You know, even this year, there was a group of scholars from India who wanted to come to Indianapolis, and they did, to study how this city is nurturing relationships among people of different religious backgrounds. So they can, right here in this city, people talk with each other, they visit each other's communities, they teach, they speak, they learn about each other. It's great. There's just one example. There's a group of Muslim and Christian people who get together for lunch every week. If you're ever downtown at Shapiro's, Wednesdays at noon, peek in there and you'll see them because they sit down together at the same table, they eat, and they talk about life. And it's really a beautiful thing because those are exactly the kind of relationships that allow trust to become more powerful than fear. And those are the kinds of relationships that we need in this city. All right, what we propose to do is redesign part of Peace Learning Center to become a more inspiring place so that people can intentionally come and learn about this city from a perspective of peace. We want stories to be told about the people who are building the relationships in this city, who are initiating the projects that actually help this community envision what is possible. And the people whose pictures will appear in this new facility, the people whose stories are getting told, they're the ones who are going to be leading workshops there at Peace Learning Center and taking those workshops into local school systems where even more young people can learn about how Indianapolis is already thriving because people who are very, very different from each other are working together. All right, now, much of this content will be online as well. It'll expand the interactive opportunities for people to engage in this. And by the 10th anniversary of September 11th, we're going to be hosting the first in what will be an annual dialogue event, interfaith dialogue of people asking the question, what has changed since 9/11? What has changed since last year? How are Indianapolis people living together differently and hopefully better? So it'll be a chance for all of us to gauge what is happening in this community. There will be a diverse planning team that implements this project. One of the people may be inspired by the Christian cross as a reminder of divine love for all people. Another planning team member may come from a very different perspective, may be inspired by something like the Kaaba, which is a reminder to Muslim people of the equality of all human beings before the divine. So very different perspectives, but it's that kind of equality, that kind of love, it's that way of looking at each other from a perspective of peace. That's what we're after. Now, we are people from the Peace Learning Center, from Muslim Women of America, from Nur-Allah Islamic Center, from the International Interfaith Initiative, and from Christian Theological Seminary. And we want people of all ages, and especially the young people, to have a chance in this city to intentionally learn about how Indianapolis can be seen from a perspective of peace. Because yesterday's hurt can be the reason that Indy continues to become an even more inspiring place. And I'm guessing that some of you have seen moments of peace in this city. So grab one of our business cards later tonight and email us, because we want to hear these stories. These are the kind of stories that need to be told. Thank you.